And here we are. Welcome to Oatmeal Brains, your source for hot takes on tepid topics. I'm Justin, and this is Brandon.
This is the worst podcast on the internet.
Holy shit. We are so fucking bad at this.
As soon as I stumbled for 1 second, I decided to really lean into how bad we are at this. But this is the worst podcast on the internet.
Ted Cancun Cruz. I have literally no opinions or thoughts on it. I just thought the nickname Ted Cancun Cruz is hilarious.
So yeah, I don't know the story at all. The only thing I know about it was that depending on where you fall, it's either not an issue or a big issue. But I think the biggest issue is his haircut.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Because I haven't heard nothing about Ted Cruz besides the fact that I'm pretty sure he has like a really stupid haircut right now.
Oh yeah, he has like a mullet or something.
Yeah,
I did
like
see this.
Mullet, and he has like a shitty beard or something, and he's got a mullet, and yeah, that's the only thing I know.
Let me see
because that's what politics are now, by the way. They used to just be like their own thing. Now you get like judged on how you look, which is funny to me.
Yeah, he's got a mullet for sure. Yeah, the only thing that I know about Ted Cruz is that he might be the Zodiac killer.
I was going to say, the only thing I know about him is that he's the Zodiac killer. That's it.
I honestly didn't even know that he represented Texas until the whole thing happened. People in Texas are literally freezing to death right now, and he took that opportunity to take a vacation to Cancun.
What else are you going to do, freeze to death?
I mean, you're not wrong, but it doesn't make it any less sickening.
No, it's horrible. It's just like if you're a voted in representative of a state that's going through a crisis and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna leave said state, really shows you that they're representing you.
I know.
Also, he's probably rich enough where he had generators and shit, and he had fucking heat anyways.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he was fine.
It's even more like out of touch. It's like it's a step further out of touch.
Dude, and some of these guys' salaries are insane too. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, these are like quote unquote civil servants making so much money, and then on top of their salary that's so much, like, they're all playing for some team, like they're all invested in like oil, and they make laws around what helps them like make more money.
Yeah, more money, and it's always about oil too.
Yeah.
In my little pea brain of information about politics, all I know is that every side, Republican, Democrat, moderate, they're all just trying to make as much money off oil as possible for themselves, and like that's what they do.
Yeah,
and then they have like a thinly veiled like attempt to make it about like social issues. So like it's basically like, do you want to vote for the people profiting off of war and oil, or do you want and also like probably hate gay people, or do you want to vote for the people who are profiting off war and oil but are pro-gay people?
Yeah.
You're like, all right, well, I guess if I'm gonna vote one way or the other.
Yeah, no, that's literally the best way to look at it, because I'm just like so sick of like people like being so divisive about it, and it's like, guys, they're all fucking evil. Calm down.
They're all terrible. Especially at that level, and especially when they're like that old and shit too.
Yeah.
Like they don't like Bernie Sanders could be an outlier, but even him I have questions about.
Yeah.
But like I feel like the older you get too, the less you give a fuck about anything. You're just like, I'm gonna just keep making my own policies and making more money. Like fuck the next generation.
No, these people are literally not here for you at all.
No, especially at that level. Statewide, townwide, maybe. Even then, questionable. But like, especially if you see someone on the national news like voting on shit, they're probably not looking out for you.
No, they're voting on their own accord, and they're trying to make money off of oil somehow.
Somehow, they're just trying to make as much money off oil as they possibly can. And they also never want to be out of war, because if we go out of war, then we have to like pay our debts back, which is physically impossible to do. That's about all the politics I can talk.
Yep, that sounds fair to me. Well, since you don't want to talk politics, how do you feel about religion?
Even more strongly.
Because this is a super old video, but I had never seen it before. And it's just, I love it.
We're never on top of things, so we might as well just go backwards in time.
Yeah.
We're never gonna be able to break a story, so we might as well just go back in time to things people had forgotten exist.
Yeah, because we talked about this before too. We're always so late to everything.
Young man in Calvary, his name was Ben, and I was running a youth group. I was there for a few years, and he was a nice kid, but he was one of those kids that was always he's a real smart aleck. Was a bright kid, which didn't help things, right? Made him more dangerous. And we were outside one day at youth group, and he was just trying to push my buttons, and he was just, kind of not taking the Lord serious. And I walked over to him, and I went, bam! I punched him in the chest as hard as I crumpled the kid. I just crumpled him. And I said, I leaned over and I said, Ben, when are you going to stop playing games with God? I led that man to the Lord right there. There's times that
I find that so hard to believe. The way he describes that story is, first of all, he said he was a smart guy, which made it worse or something along those lines. Because it's just like, yeah, if you're smart, you can think of yourself. He's probably like not uber religious.
Yeah, so that's how I had taken that too. I thought that was so weird. I was like, what do you mean he's a bright kid and that makes him dangerous? Like to me, it just sounds like you're saying smart people don't believe in God. Like, how else am I supposed to take that?
I think that's exactly what he meant. He was just like, he was a smart guy, and that made him dangerous because he was playing with God or whatever the hell he just mentioned.
Yeah, questioning it, right? He questions God. That makes him smart.
Yeah, he's smart and dangerous because he's questioning God. So he just crumples him, as he put it.
Yeah, never heard anybody say that before.
Punches him right in the chest and crumples him. And then the most outrageous part of the whole video is then him saying that led him to God. Like, if a Jesus freak punched me in the chest, I don't think I'm going to turn to God. I'm going to be like, all right, these people are fucked.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes sometimes.
Yeah, I just hate everything about it, too, because, like, this is, like, I don't know, like, what the military ranks of religion are. So I believe he's a pastor. I don't know where that is in line with, like, pastor, priest, pope. I don't know, like, the rungs on that ladder, but I feel like pastor is, like, someone that people listen to.
Well, no, he seemed like a preacher, and then it's a pastor, and then it goes up in, like, the ranks of how much you diddle kids to a higher point.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure that's just a preacher who's just literally just a guy who stands and, like, says gibberish about God. And, like, the pastors, I feel like, always have, like, cool robes on, and then you get even higher up and creepier and creepier. And
yeah. Oh, yeah, and the priests are the ones with, like, the thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's either a preacher or a pastor or something.
Yeah,
but
I'm not. I know anything because I really don't. But no, he doesn't even look like a priest or a pastor. He looks like a preacher, which I think is just a dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just looks like a random fucking guy.
He's like punching people for not believing in God.
Yeah. But I just had like so many issues with that video. It's just like, so he is like self-described a man of God, and he's up there promoting violence, which has to be a sin. He's up there.
There's definitely kids there. He's promoting that kids beat people up if they don't believe in God. So that's a great precedent.
He goes as far to brag about it.
It's very braggadocious.
That has to go against the Bible. Has to.
The whole thing just screams like brag. Just like talk. Like that's a dude. That's the pinnacle of his life was that. Like, that's the Jesus equivalent of being, like, the star quarterback in high school. And, like, that's what he did. He was, like, punching kids for not believing in God. And that's just, like, that's where he peaked, like, right there. And he just tells that story. He's so proud of it. He relives it all the time because he crumpled that kid and brought him to Jesus.
Well, here's another thing that I wanted to like delve into and do a little bit of detective work on. Because when I first listened to it, I assumed this was a kid. He was a kid at the time, and this was a kid in his age group. But on my third listen in, he says that he was running youth group. So when I'm thinking youth group, I'm thinking kids that are 11 to 16, somewhere in that range. And if you're running youth group, you're probably 21. So if my made up hypothesis is correct, this is a 21-year-old kid that punched a fucking child in the chest and crumpled him.
This grown-ass man crumpled a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
For being a bright kid.
Yeah, for being smart.
He paused. Oh my gosh. I didn't even gather that. Yeah. I figured it was even if they were both 15, it just seems like some 12-year-old shit to me, but it sounds like he was punching kids now.
Yeah, I want you to back me up fully on this. I want to run it one more time because that's what I heard. And when you first listen, you're like, oh, I figure they're both 15 or both 12 or something stupid. But he says, I was running youth group. Unless this is another brag about him just being best boy or whatever at youth group. And he was like, oh yeah, my youth group, I was running that shit, dude. I spoke the word of the Lord every day.
His name was Ben. And I was running a youth group. I was there for a few.
Yeah, see? It was right there. Oh, that went back so far.
In Calvary. His name was Ben. And I was running a youth group. I was there for a few.
Right? I was running youth group. Is that what you heard?
Yeah, and then he keeps going he was been there for a while.
Yeah, he said he's been running youth group for years.
So he's 30.
I was there for a few years. And he was a nice kid, but he was one of those kids that was always he's a real smart aleck.
I mean, he says he's a kid. He said he was running youth group. This is a grown man.
This is I would, my best estimation is he's let's say you're able to run some shit at youth group when you're 18. He's been there for a few years. Minimum, this guy's 22, 21 years old. Max, 26, like my age. If I were to go punch a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Was a bright kid, which didn't help things, right? Made him more dangerous. And we were outside one day.
Dude, how can anybody say that? That's being smart makes you dangerous.
Because, when you're not trying to indoctrinate people into a cult, how could you say that and take anything else he says or anybody says that follows this religion seriously after that statement?
Yeah, I mean, that just makes me feel like these people who are pastors or priests and stuff are just duping people. He's saying it right to us. He's like, if you're smart.
He's not even trying to dupe you. He's straight up saying, he was a real smart aleck. He was a bright kid. Which didn't help, I think is what he said. It just makes him more dangerous.
God, it's so crazy.
That's scary. Right,
and he was just trying to push my buttons, and he was just, kind of not taking the Lord serious.
Yeah, he was questioning.
And I walked over to him, and I went, bam! I punched him in the chest as hard as I crumpled the kid. I just crumpled him.
Oh my God.
I punched the kid in the chest. He says kid. He says kid as in he's talking about a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And I crumpled it. Also, he says as hard as he could. This doesn't look like a strong guy, but it doesn't look like a weak guy.
No, especially when you're talking a grown man versus a kid. Yeah. Because, and if this was someone in his own age group, would he refer to that person, as a kid?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's more of a popular thing to say now, but, not in his age group. You would never call someone a kid that was your age.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, if I was talking about a friend from middle school or something, I would either say we were kids, or I wouldn't be that kid. I wouldn't refer to him as a kid because he wouldn't be a kid anymore. I would just say like him or her or whatever.
I think we're delving into it too deeply because I think it's face value. Like, he just admitted to punching a kid in the chest.
And he was a grown man.
As hard as he could. And it crumpled the kid. Like, this small child crumpled under the force of his punch.
Dude, I have to give it to him, though, because that is the perfect adjective to use. Like, just the perfect descriptor. Like, I can see that in my head, like punching someone so hard that they like their legs give out and they literally crumple to the floor.
It's like
he should have been an author or something.
Crumpled is a good word.
And I leaned over and I said, Ben, when are you going to stop playing games with God? I led that man to the Lord right there. There's times that might be needed.
There's times that might be needed.
Yeah, so that's the last part, is he's just straight up encouraging violence and saying that not only was what he did totally justified, punching a kid, but sometimes what is needed. So other people should go out and punch little kids in the chest if they don't believe in God.
I mean, that's the message for sure. So sometimes that's needed. I don't know. I wish that this was happening currently so I could like hear other people's like thoughts on it. Because I would like to know like, do you think this guy ever had like repercussions to saying this? Probably not. I mean, if you can diddle kids and get away with it, you can definitely punch kids in the chest.
Yeah, no, like they got a thing with kids. That's for sure.
The bomb squad was called to defuse a bag of kittens left outside church in Ohio. Butler County Sheriff's Office said their bomb unit had been called to inspect a bag at a church in New Miami on Thursday. Instead of explosives, they discovered it contained a cat and 6 one-day-old kittens.
Oh, sounds like the mom. That's really sad.
When specialist Mike Grimes and Detective Deatheridge arrived, they didn't hear ticking. They heard purring.
So why did they... Oh, those are the detectives. Say why did they... So it was like they were trying to give them away, but like nicely, I guess. But as we just learned, the church is not the place to do that. Yeah. You're gonna punch all those kittens in the chest.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Or they're gonna baptize them to death.
It looks like they did. Why were they so wet?
I know. Yeah.
No, they must have like still covered in their mom.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. But maybe it is baptismal water.
Baptismal? I don't know if that's a word.
But yeah, dude, it's just like, it's like, I don't know if this article is funny or sad or what. Like, it's just a little crazy that like you see an unmarked bag and you're like, fuck, bomb. Like, that's your first thought. But I mean, that is just the weird.
That's like a thing, though. Like, they teach that shit now, which is like, I guess probably for a net positive, but at the same time, you're definitely getting yourself into some like stupid situations like that.
Yeah.
Because there are like bombs shit, but that, I mean, there's definitely a joke here about cats being kind of evil, but I don't have it. Never have.
Yeah, I mean, I just like this line. Like, it's so bad. They didn't hear ticking; they heard purring. But like, you know, someone's like stroking their ego with that line.
Yeah. Well, you also have to know that, like, this is like probably small town Ohio. Like, this is just like this was really fun for them.
Yeah.
This story.
Dude, I know what you're looking for. You're looking for a catastrophe, right?
It could have been a catastrophe.
Yeah.
But
where's that?
Luckily, it was just cats.
That has to be in here, right? How do you get away? Whoever wrote this article and didn't say catastrophe averted should be imprisoned. It's a fucking gimme.
I just love the visual of like the two dudes in full bomb squad like creeping up to the bag like all nervous, and they unzip it and a cat just like peeks its head out in the bag.
I do wish that we had that video.
It's just like the bomb squad guys are just like What the fuck?
Well, I'm glad they didn't use one of those robots that like shoots a charge into it to blow it up.
So there was that bombing in Nashville or whatever, and then like a couple days later there was like another bomb scare, and I watched the whole live footage of them like parked like super far away from it, like calling the bomb squad in. It had to have been like an hour or 2 hours worth of just like live feed of them thinking this like truck was another bomb, because it looked vaguely like the truck that blew up like days before. And once they finally, like, they had robots looking in it, they had people, and once they finally opened it, it was just full of junk. Just like literal junk. Like somebody was like moving or like going to the dump, or just like a trash person. But they wasted so much time, so many police officers, so much manpower, so much probably tax dollars. I think one of the robots broke halfway through.
Jesus.
And it was just like...
My biggest question here is, why were they live streaming a possible bomb threat? Like, are they trying to get footage of people dying, or...
There is the reason I watched it, because I was like, part of me was hoping to see an explosion.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that, but that seems like really immoral to be like live streaming that.
It was on some news station.
Yeah, because like, you know, that's why people are watching it. It's like, we want to see death.
Well, so to be fair, nobody would have died because nobody was around.
Yeah.
They had robots looking in it, and all the cops were at like almost like a mile down the street from where the van was. And it was just like a helicopter, like that, or a drone, probably a drone these days. It's not the 90s. But yeah, no, it's a thing. Yeah, but I want to see. But, my point is I want to watch that video of an hour lead up with 50 cops, 2 bomb squad guys, 2 different robots creeping up on this bag trying to figure out what it is, and then it just being full of cats.
It's just cats. That would be great. Oh, that'd be so
well,
much
fun.
Fun.
If it was called in as a bomb threat, they had to take it maybe not that extreme because of the fact that there was an actual bombing like days before, but like they had to take like some pretty hefty precautions.
Yeah. Do you remember the Boston Dynamics robot dogs?
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't they have like weren't they working on like a robot cheetah at one point, like a really fast one? They make all sorts of scary shit over there.
Yeah. Well, in case you have forgotten how fucking terrifying they are.
No, I do remember these though, and they're really funny because they're fucking. It looks like something out of Metal Gear Solid too.
It does. It's so inhuman.
So scary.
I guess it's definitely not human as far as, but it's just so inorganic. It's just terrifying.
Yeah. It's just the way the legs move. It's got like giraffe legs, but on like a dog shape.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Okay, I'm no engineer, but wouldn't that thing work better if it had shorter legs? They're like bend over and crazy.
So scary. Well, I don't know. It has to have some sort of clearance, right? Because they need it. They want it to get over any kind of terrain, I'm assuming. Oh, fuck. What is that? Oh, must be like... Oh, these are like old videos. This is like one of the first models, it looks like.
I mean, this is an old video, so I'm curious to see what you have more to say about this. I want to see how much the technology's gone in 5 years. This is like,
they totally do have a new one.
Okay. Do you want? Can you just play? Oh, wow, that looks much cooler.
Yeah, so it's this thing, and this is why I thought about them at all, because some company.
Oh god, they're making these. They're making these for police now. That's not good.
My god,
they're deadly enough. We don't need to give them fucking robots.
Shit, I didn't even see that the first time. I was just enthralled with the fucking scary robot dogs, and that there was a new one.
No, seriously, like I feel like the police are already pretty good at killing. Like, I don't think we need to give them robots.
Yeah, I didn't know that these ones were like specific to police. Boston Dynamics police robot dog.
Did they like put in like a racist chip into them?
Probably.
How else will they know which ones to kill and which ones not to kill during a standard speeding ticket?
But yeah, so the reason why I thought about these again is some company is doing, I don't know, I should have read this more, but there's a company that somehow they make money by doing stunts. And their newest stunt is that they're strapping this fucking robot dog with a paintball gun and letting people control it inside of an art gallery.
Is it like as an art piece? Or is it just because it's a fun thing you can do?
I mean, the art world is that ridiculous, but no, I think this is just like a fun thing.
A fun, okay.
But also terrifying. No, because I don't think it happened yet. Yeah, we can check out the website, I guess. Wednesday at 1. Oh, maybe this happened today.
1 p.m. Eastern? Yeah, it already happened like 6 hours ago.
Let's go to the website.
Spot Rampage is what it's called.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's some fucking video about it. Oh, is it happening right now? Game over.
They still suck. They still can't even walk around.
Oh, no, I've seen videos of this thing. It's fucking nuts. Yeah, I don't know why they're just showing this, but...
Game over. God, imagine like walking through the hood and just seeing that thing. Just like patrolling. Like that's some straight up like fucking Hunger Games shit. You're just like walking through the neighborhood at night, and then all of a sudden you just like see that creepy thing just like
dude, that is around. So fucking scary.
You're just like, oh fuck. Like, hide your drugs. Fucking police dog. Oh, yeah, man.
Dude, yeah, this is like the new one. Dude, look at how fucking scary it is. Ugh.
That's a real dog.
Yeah.
At least real dogs are.
Yeah, dude, look at how freaking scary this shit is.
This is Spawn.
We didn't ask you, Russell.
So, you've probably seen this robot before, maybe.
No, I want to see it be freaky.
When you're standing next to Spot, the striking thing is how small and sturdy.
Run around and be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. Before you had pointed out that these were built for the police, and I guess even still, I'm just wondering, like, what do we need these for? Like, what is their purpose?
Well, bombs for sure. That's like something that makes sense to me. Indiscriminately killing folk, I guess.
Fucking Christ. Yeah.
Like that's in a horror. Like you could put that in a horror game. That face right there. Like, you walk into a room and like a big version of that. Like, it's like that's some like Dark Souls shit.
Big time.
It's like walk into a room and that thing's just like staring at you. You're just like, nope.
No. And I'm even more terrified now when you're talking about them just like patrolling the streets. Like,
yeah,
God, that's horrifying.
You're just gonna hear that noise. Just gonna be like walking down the street late at night, dark alley, maybe a little bit of an unsavory neighborhood. But the thing that's scary is not the people; it's the
and the pistons, like the.
Oh fuck! The police dog.
God, this sucks. This is horrible. I hate this more than when I started now. I don't want to be in this world where these things just walk around. I don't like it.
I do like that little dance a little bit though.
Yeah, but I hate that too because it's like, oh look it, we're fun. We're a fun company. This is like a robot dog. Watch it dance, and then 10 years from now, it's just fucking murdering people.
Yeah, especially once they like they're gonna create AI that can control these, and if the AI is gonna get corrupted, and it's just gonna no longer find use for humans, and they're just gonna like take over the world.
Yeah.
Isn't there a Black Mirror episode from one of the newer seasons that's like literally that? It's like those weird little robot dogs.
There is a Black Mirror robot dog.
Once again, unoriginal. Happened already.
Literally the Black Mirror robot dog. Dude, this one's got a fucking arm on its head.
That's what I'm saying. Like the paintball gun's all fun and whimsical until you put a fucking Glock on top of it.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even find that fun and whimsical. I'm like, they're literally showing you that they are going to strap fucking weapons to the top of this shit. Horrifying.
I remember that not liking that episode solely because I hated that it was in black and white.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't understand why people do that. Or, like,
Let's
make
make
a
it look
full
like
black and white movie in 2020. Like, get the fuck out of
why?
here. Speaking about artistic novelty, but Nickelodeon's Butch Hartman, who I believe is the animator for the Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, trends on Twitter due to tracing art for commission money.
My first immediate question is how much money we talking here?
$200, like not a lot.
I was gonna say, like, is it like $1,000? Because anything more than that, I feel like this is a non-issue. But okay, keep going.
So, this is apparently the piece of artwork that he did. So it's Mikasa from Attack on Titan. Right?
But in that style, okay.
The reason why he was trending on Twitter is because they said that the original art of the Attack on Titan character is done by Japanese artist, whatever, 28 Ton, and is saying that Hartman traced his art.
But it clearly looks like Danny Phantom style art.
And I feel like above all of this, some person who ripped off artwork from whoever invented Attack on Titan is mad that they're also ripping off artwork from Attack on Titan. But
oh wait, so it's not like the artist from the manga or anything?
No, this is just, they're saying that he traced fan art.
Okay, keep scroll down. I've seen the picture enough. I need to read some words because I'm lost. Okay, keep going. It says, I received a report that my fan art has been plagiarized. Oh my lord. Shut the fuck up.
That's what I'm saying. You stole artwork, and
wait, this
art is, and you're now mad that somebody is stealing artwork.
No,
what?
I need to go back. Read that first line. In result of this, Twitter artists gathered together to promote their own original commissions with fairer prices and higher quality. What?
Yeah, what? So they're also just saying that it sucks too?
You're like, oh yeah, so it's also sucks. Buy mine, it's better, and we didn't rip off this guy who already ripped off something of a character that none of these people created this character, so why does anyone have a say in it? I hate art. I really just like. I have a slight disdain for the art community. I love art, but like they are so toxic and pretentious sometimes. Like holy fuck. Like what good is coming out of this? And also like, can we see the original thing that's quote unquote was traced? Because like
I don't know. I would have to look it up. They didn't like show that in the thing.
Because that picture looks like what you would get if you crossed anime with that Fairly Odd Parents like blocky cartoon.
But this also reminded me of this, where Kat Von D is being sued because she tattooed Miles Davis and used this photograph as a reference. Photographers complaining about people like ripping stuff off is like even more asinine in my opinion.
So the thing about the tattoo thing that makes even less sense though is that yeah, she got paid to do the tattoo, but the guy who got the tattoo, like he's not profiting. Nobody's profiting off of this after the first initial, and she just got paid to do the tattoo. She didn't even have to draw the art. So she didn't even have to like. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I think I also have a beef with photographers because, like, photographers will show up to a show I'm playing, take pictures of me so that they can post it, like, on their Instagram profile and stuff, and then have the audacity to message the band and say, hey, for $200, I'll sell you those pictures I took. And I'm like, I didn't even agree for you to take my fucking picture in the first place.
I mean, isn't that a thing though? Can't you be like, no, like take those down? I did not give you permission to photograph me. Isn't that not a thing? Or is it
I don't
like
know. I don't think so.
Or is it like you're in public, you got a picture taken, you exist now on the internet? Because that's kind of fucked up too. But also, like I've always heard from 99% of people, like, if you ever just get like a straight up piece of art, like that you didn't draw or your tattoo artist didn't draw, like you're supposed to ask for permission, but at the same time, like 99% of the time it's like flattery, so like it doesn't matter.
I mean, I could agree that I do think like in this particular circumstance, it would have been nice to like maybe shout out like the person who took the photo and been like, oh, I'm so like glad that I was able to do a tattoo of this beautiful picture done by whatever the fuck the guy's name is. I don't even give a shit to look it up, you know?
It's just so convoluted because now, like, Miles Davis is the guy who's the picture of, but the photographer is the one who's all hot and bothered, even though it's a tattoo that isn't going to go anywhere and is only going to promote the photo further.
Yeah. And it, again, in my opinion, this way more work, way more complicated than this.
Not to mention that, like, portraits and grayscale tattoos are kind of just bullshit anyways. And they're going to look like mud in, like, 10 years.
It's
just going to be a blob on their body in, like, 10 years.
But yeah, I agree. I don't think that the photographer gets to say shit. Like, I mean, Miles Davis is no longer living. But, he's the only person that in this that matters.
Yeah. And people, like, that's a thing. Like, that's a thing in tattoos is people get like art and I want to say portraits and things like that. Like, that's a thing that people do to like memorialize things. And so if that guy just like really loved Miles Davis, wanted the tattoo, I guess he just picked the wrong picture to use. It's like it has nothing to do with the goddamn photographer.
Yeah, that guy didn't know that dude's fucking name. He doesn't give a shit.
He was just like, I love Miles Davis. This is a really nice picture of him. I want it to be tattooed. And Kat Von D could just happen to actually have the skill to pull it off. And now some guy's pissed off. And it's only because she had a TV show once, so she's probably loaded.
Yeah, it definitely has to do with that. And like, I guarantee you that was the only good thing that guy ever did in his life was take that one photo of Miles Davis, and then his career went down the fucking shitter. And just anything he can do to get some sort of like notoriety or money or whatever, he'll do. Well, I'm pretty sure that I met my quota for talking shit on people I don't know today.
Let's just burn as many bridges as possible.
Yeah. So pissed off the art community, pissed off the photography community, pissed off Christians, maybe all religion.
Cops.
No regrets there. Politicians, we hit that. So,
we really didn't cover our bases though. I can't think of like, should we talk about like abortion for a second? I think it's the only one we missed.
Yeah.
Well, did you have any more topics or are we done?
The only thing that I had is we were talking about gender reveal parties last week, and this week I think it was like
domestic terrorists last week. Yeah, I remember talking about that.
So 2 days ago, a New York dad-to-be was killed by an exploding gender reveal device that he was like building in his garage. And all of these people should be listed as domestic terrorists. I stand by it still from last week because this is insane.
Why is it a thing? Also, so I've known gender reveal parties are a thing my whole life. I mean, they're pretty common, but it's always been like a cake or something. You put in the cake, blah, 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 blah. Why is this becoming a trend? Because the only publicity we're getting off of these explosive gender reveals, like the shooting the fire things and the making explosions, is just like forest fires and people fucking dying. And you're like, oh, I should do that.
Yeah, it's like no good has come from any of it.
It's like, oh no, that sounds like something I actually would like to try out.
And like this probably just sounds horrible, but I'm going to say it anyways. But like that kid's going to grow up and people are going to be like, where's your dad? And they're going to be like, oh, my dad's dead because he was pretending to be Osama bin Laden in our garage and it blew himself up.
Yeah, no, that's awful because Like, he could have just, like, baked a cake.
Yeah.
And he would have, like, maybe, like, burnt his finger. But no, he's like, I'm gonna make a bomb.
I don't get it. Why are people making fucking bombs? Like, holy shit.
Poorly making bombs at that. They're killing themselves.
I mean, are we actually sure that what he was doing? I don't understand how you're making a gender reveal thing and it kills you. Like, are we sure that's what he was doing? Or does he work for ISIS? Like,
he could have just not wanted to be a dad.
Oh God, that's pretty fucking dark.
That's the line? Okay.
Oh, I didn't say you crossed any lines. I just said that's pretty dark.
Man.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't read any of this, but I just opened it back up and I scrolled to the blast killed the dad and injured his brother.
So him and his brother just hanging out in the garage, probably drinking beers,
making bombs.
Hey, honey, you hear on the news people are doing these like gender reveal parties with explosives? I think I want to try that. Okay, hon, that's a great idea. I'm pretty sure it was a positive article I read. It definitely wasn't about those forest fires or people dying.
Yeah. I got these great blueprints for, I think it looks like a gender reveal device for me. I got it on Facebook from this guy who says he's from ISIS. I'm not sure what that is, but he gave me some plans. And I'm very excited to try it out.
Maybe is this the new like terrorist plot? Instead of like trying to hijack a plane or whatever crazy, they're just like sending like dads to be emails with instructions on how to make a bad, like a faulty bomb in hopes that it'll blow something up.
Yeah, I think so. The more I read into it, because yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it. These people are domestic terrorists. Like, why are you building bombs in your basements?
Yeah, like it's like straight up Unabomber shit.
Yeah. How are we letting this happen?
I want to start the petition to ban gender reveal parties, like across the board. Like, you know, it's a one bad apple situation. It's like you fucked it up too many times. You just get to find out when the baby comes out what gender it is. Like, you can't even learn beforehand anymore.
Oh, I like that.
All right, well, it's probably a good time to wrap it up anyways, because I'm hungry.
It's slowing down. I could definitely